Eric Sedone asks, when did you realize you had a knack for writing? Did WWE give you a shot from pitches you'd done yourself when you were wrestling, or was it just something else?
Yeah, it was literally Hunter came to me as I was a producer, and I had a tryout as a producer, and I was doing good as a producer, but I was also involved in everything entertainment that we had. There was like if somebody came, who's that Lamar Ball or whatever the ball basketball player guys came, and there's a Miz TV, and you got to do that, Brian. Okay, great. When Michael Strahan comes and you do the Miz TV, Brian, you're the producer on that. So I just started working with Vince a little more closely, and I think he just saw, okay, he has an idea about what he's doing. He's not ignorant to all this. And then Hunter came to me and said, hey, I think you're a good storyteller. Do you think you could be a writer? And he said, because what I think, and look, what turns out is like exactly what he said. My wrestling experience helped that writing team because I could say, oh, no, you can't do that. Or, oh, that'd be awesome. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, Vince would agree with me. So I could stop them from going in a different direction if they were going a long way, or I could help them in a different direction. So my wrestling experience helped the writing team. Then the writing team taught me how to write. You know what I mean? Not literally, but we would collaborate on promos. And the biggest accomplishment to me of my writing career, because me and Steve Guerreri did sit down one afternoon and write that book, Night Night AJ. That where Samoa Joe was working with AJ Styles on SmackDown, and he read the book Night Night AJ. Me and Steve wrote that word for word, and that's one of the things I was like, man, that was a great story. You know what I mean? It was the one where he went to AJ's house and knocked on the door and all that stuff. Man, we shot all that stuff on location, and man, it was super cool.
Getting to do those little pushing the boundaries things
are
always fun.
They are fun. And then you don't know, am I going to get in trouble for this?
Absolutely.
But if you stand, look, and that's another thing with Vince, if you stand by your decision, he may tell you decision's wrong, but he's not going to tell you you're stupid or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you made the wrong decision, but I appreciate and respect you standing by that decision. And I always did that, like right, wrong, or indifferent. This is the decision I made. I can either apologize for it, or it'll be, hey, you're welcome, sir. So yeah, we had a good time. I don't know what we were talking about. Bong resin, chair shot.
We don't even need it yet today. You're on track and we're
good.
Dion Sutton asks, when you work for the WWE, do they pay wrestlers every 2 weeks or bi-monthly?
So I actually don't know how they get paid now, but I know back in the day I would get a check every Monday. And so it would be from towns from a month ago or 2 months ago or whatever, but every Monday a payroll check came out. And so, look, I don't know if that's still the way it is, but that's the way it was.
Bryant Haremza asks, as a writer, how many phone calls are you taking a day about the show? And generally, who are you talking to writing the show? Is it other writers, or are you talking to show performers at that point?
Yeah. So we would so my schedule was hell when I was there. I would leave on Sunday afternoon. I would do Monday, Tuesday TV, because Tuesday was SmackDown at the time before we went live and it moved to Friday. So I would leave Sunday afternoon. I'd be gone Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday after SmackDown, we would fly to Stamford. So work Wednesday and Thursday, right in the next week's show. Go home Friday, but still Friday, okay, we got to get on the phone tomorrow for an hour. We got to do this to at least work out what Seg 9 is. Now, what we will have done in that time is put the show together, ask different people to come in and shoot holes in it. I've talked about that before. It's important to have people come in and shoot holes in your stuff so that you can fill those creative holes with logic. And so when you're pitching it next time, you go, well, we decided to do this because of this. And it gives the appearance that you have figured everything out and that you have thought about every aspect. And so that was the process. Look, I would still get calls from Kevin Dunn or calls from somebody in the studio. Hey, we need to do an integration on such and such. We're going to have new action figures there or whatever. We need to have somebody in the back. So then we have to assign somebody to write the backstage with the two talent that are playing with the Rock'em Sock'em robots or whatever it was. So it's always something. And that's why that time in my life was hard. It was not that I couldn't work with Vince because he was, because you couldn't work with him. he outworked me. He worked me till I had to tap out, and that's just who and how he works. It's not mean or malice or anything. It's just he's just a workaholic, and if you can't keep up, then you fall by the wayside. And that's what happened after a while. I kept up for a while, but then it got to be where I was like, oh, I don't have any serenity. My sobriety is, I'm questioning my, how do I get out of this? And it was finally just like, let me go home for a minute. And, we went from there. But yeah, he's just a workhorse, man. And I tapped out. The old man tapped me out.
We're cranking through, and we got one more chunk of questions left. But let's take our final break.